Hi, I'm Tim, and welcome to Watch One. As you can see, we've got a little bit of a gaggle, or should I say pilot and co-pilot arrangement here in the studio today. Federico, welcome.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me. It's really exciting stuff.
Now this is great because this is the start of a new era here. Now you saw our intro graphic with the usual scheduled shows, and I've got to admit something, that's a lie.
Yeah, obviously, right?
Okay, so what's happening is we're taking the Tuesday and Thursday time slots that we haven't really used too much in the past, and Federico is joining the team both as a force in-house and as a presence on our channel. Well, let's start with a wrist check, Federico, because the more things change, the more they stay the same.
So it's a very Federico Talks Watches format, the customary wristwatch check. I'm rocking the Omega Speedmaster Apollo 14 limited edition. If you guys have seen me on YouTube before, this is one of my most beloved pieces.
And because my wrist just isn't that long, I'm going to take this one off and hand model it for you. But this is my watch, and this is my Duomet White Gold 42. It's a chronograph, it's a mono pusher, and it's a Foudroyant. I like wearing this watch for special occasions, and for me, this really qualifies. Also, I think we got some myth busting to do. So let's start with what you're not doing here.
Okay, what I'm not doing at Watch One. I'm not in sales, so I'm not a sales guy, even though if you guys want to buy a watch from me, I'm sure that could be arranged, but I'm not in sales. I'm not replacing Tim. That's a good one. Everybody's like, where's Tim going? So your job is safe.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
We're not firing you just yet.
He's keeping me on. Maybe I'll move over into the co-pilot seat.
And of course, another very big one, I'm not quitting YouTube. I'm just joining Watch You Want. You know, the Federico Talks Watches channel is still there, so you guys can see all the older content, and it might be updated from time to time.
Yeah.
But I'm just joining the fantastic team at Watch You Want, you know, and having my own segment, my own show, joining Tim on his show, Tim joining me on mine.
Yeah.
And yeah, just making some great content here in Florida.
And it's going to be a combination, really. Honestly, the last thing I wanted Federico to do is come in and start talking like me and making shows in my style and, you know, just duplicating the format that we've got, because we've got enough programming on this channel. I've realized that. Thank you, you guys who told me we update too often. Both of us agree. So Federico is going to be anchoring the Tuesday and Thursday slots, but it's going to be the same focused type compelling content that he used on Federico Talks Watches. Just explain the difference between our two styles.
The format is going to be just like Federico Talks Watches. You know, Tim specializes in the live shows, multi-segments, anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour long, whereas I'm more of a 5 to 15 minute guy, and I usually focus on one subject. As I said, very, very similar to Federico Talks Watches, just with the Watch You Want set behind me.
And the nice thing is we're really upgrading the spec. I mean, you're coming from, I believe, the iPhone and iMovie?
Well, I started off on the iPhone and iMovie, and then I went to a $200 DSLR and a trial version of Final Cut Pro.
So, just for perspective, we're using $2,500 cameras here, and we've got at least 10 times that on the way with a new studio. So in the next 4 months, Federico and I are going to get a mutual upgrade from this setup. But for now, consider this the Cadillac of Federico Talks Watches offerings until he's got his own set.
Yeah, Federico's never been more HD than he is right now.
And I also want to just kind of explain that Federico is also going to be our czar of social media. I've run the world of video here like, you know, with an iron fist. But the bottom line is I can only pay so much attention to our Instagram, to our Facebook, to our Twitter presence. To answer the questions below our YouTube comment threads underneath the videos, I used to answer all of those, and then it became $1,300 a week, and I'm like, I surrender.
Basically, you're a full-time YouTube comment answerer. That's all you do.
I mean, between the blisters and the carpal tunnel, I've got a great lawsuit on the way. But until then, Federico's going to help me answer all the questions and comments and make us more interactive in Spaces Week and Week. If you ever joined our Facebook page, you've noticed we do almost nothing with it. That's going to change, and this man's the key there. He's also going to help me optimize the content on this channel. So if you have ideas for shows, talk about how we're doing that.
If you have any ideas, you know, let us know. I think for now we're going to keep the live formats. We're going to keep the Federico Talks Watches format. But we were considering using our connections in South Florida to bring you a little bit of lifestyle stuff.
Yeah.
Now and then, you know, if you guys love cars, you may want to check it out. You know, maybe Now maybe some Lamborghinis, maybe some Corvettes. Who knows?
Gone but not forgotten.
Yeah, you got. Okay, we'll not talk about that on camera because I'm still very upset you sold the essay.
Okay, I will atone. But the bottom line is that's the kind of lifestyle content that we're going to answer to and add and develop in addition to. It's not going to be
down the road. Yeah, right down the road.
Plus, we're also talking about maybe moving the watch reviews and the actual personality content to separate channels. So we're playing with a lot of ideas. We're open to suggestions.
We are. I mean, the idea for right now is if you're subscribed to this channel, you'll get my segments and Tim's segments. And if you love the Watch You Want and Govberg snippets, you know, the little watch reviews, we're going to create a separate channel for that stuff. That way, you know, we don't bombard your subscription boxes with content you may or may not want.
Exactly. So you know where we are, and we're going to rely on that more and more, and not hit you with an activation every time something goes up. But now, more broadly, we're also going to continue to offer you the kind of insights and, you know, kind of insider, honest opinions that Federico and I offer from different ends of the spectrum.
Listen, my opinions are not always popular, Tim.
No, I know,
but
I know.
they're my opinions, and that will not change. It's a no bullshit kind of format.
This guy famously went off on Grand Psycho to disastrous effects, but he was honest about it.
I was honest about it, but the guys at Watch You Seek made like a 14-page thread, you know, just destroying me. But hey, I'm not gonna lie, it's not my cup of tea.
Yeah, so this is, I think, where we're going to start the Federico era in Miami. We're going to, I think, play a little game of popcorn right here, and then we're going to take some of your questions because I know you've got them. So you're now in Miami, which means you need the ultimate Miami watch and
Yes.
possibly car. Possibly car.
If you're a subscriber to Federico Talks Watches, you know I love this town, and you know I've talked about the ultimate Miami watch before. And I'm not gonna lie, I've been here a few days now. I've spent more time playing with the inventory than I have actually doing my job.
I've done that.
So yeah, I've got a few ideas. It's got to be bold. It's got to have a ton of personality, and it's got to be unique. So, I mean, if price was no object,
Yes.
it'd be a Rolex GMT Master Patriot Sapphire Ruby.
Okay, okay.
If price was no object, but price is an object.
So let's, bearing in mind that there's a price range, at least for this first conquest in South Florida, I have some suggestions that I'd like to proffer for my friend here. First, a forgotten favorite, the early 2000s to mid 2000s Ebel 1911 BTR in rose gold. I think I've got a little graphic of that here. Pheline's got one prepped. This is a watch that is descended from that quintessential Miami Vice 1911 chronograph, but with modern size, wrist presence, and rose gold punch.
And a Zenith El Primero movement, if I'm not mistaken.
You know, up to a point they did. By the time the BTRs arrived, they had already taken on the movement that became the 137 and later was shipped off to Ulysse and Ardennes.
You know what? I'm not going to sit here and say it's an ugly watch from looking at the graphic. I really like them.
Okay.
But didn't Abel, I thought Abel was dead and buried, you know, by now.
They kind of are. At least in the men's watch realm.
That just means we can get a great price on it, right?
Exactly. There are perpetual calendars out there with the El Primero.
I'm not going to lie, we're going to have to check that one out.
Yeah, that's an interesting watch. So I'm sticking with my rose gold theme here, and I'm going to propose, since I am a JLC devotee, a Grand Reverso Sun and Moon. This one from the late 2000s.
You don't have to sell me on that. I love the Sun and Moon. I've said it 1,000 times on my channel. And I'm a lover of gold, but I gotta be honest, when it comes to Reversos, I'm a white metal or steel kind of guy.
I didn't see that coming. I did not see that
But
coming.
that's one of the few watches where I would always take the white metal over the gold.
Okay, well, there's a phenomenal peace dividend from going to the gold to the steel Grand Reverso, so I think that leaves a little bit of money in the tank for something else down the road.
Absolutely.
And plus, this watch does have your favorite combination of features, AM, PM, so you've got the dynamism, and the moon phase for the romance.
I'm a big moon phase guy. I don't know how to read one, I barely know how to set one, but it's just such a beautiful thing.
And if you're absent-minded like I am, 8-day power reserve, so I only really need to remember once a week.
Yeah, touche. I mean, but you own a bunch of complicated watches that you always have to like reset. I mean,
yeah, I'm like sitting there in the safe nights. So I can definitely relate. 8-day power reserve, especially the way JLC does it with 50 turns to a full reserve.
yeah, well, is it exactly 50?
It's 50 to 55.
That is actually pretty precise.
That's pretty impressive to me because when you get 5 days of power reserve in a Blancpain 50 Fathoms, it takes 108 turns to wind that up.
But is it a single barrel or a double barrel?
It's a double barrel.
Yeah.
It's geared really high. Now, here's the thing. When we talk about Miami watches, there are literally Miami watches. Richemont loves the design district.
Yes, they do.
So we have the Vacheron Constantin Overseas Chronograph Miami limited edition of 30 pieces from 2015.
What color dial is that?
Blue.
Oh, wow. But those are really hard to find.
Oh, they're hard to
Blue dial
find, but worth the
overseas?
hunt. Worth the hunt.
And they carry a little bit of a premium, right? We're talking maybe 15, 16?
I would say a little bit, but I mean, the proof is in the picture.
Oh, it's gold, so we're talking,
Rose
that
gold,
is beautiful.
lacquer dial.
There's nothing more beautiful than a blue dial on a rose gold watch.
Yeah, especially when it's got a rose gold strap, and that strap is rubber, so you can jump in the surf a few miles from the design district.
You know, my all-time favorite location limited edition watch was the AP Royal Oak Offshore Montauk Highway.
Okay, wow, I love this guy. I've ridden probably over 1,500 miles on my bike on Montauk Highway, New York Route 27, I believe, and that was only available in the Ball Harbor Boutique and London Jewelers on Long Island, where
Exactly.
I bought my first JLC.
Yeah, if you guys want to see if they still have one in stock, call Michael Edelman. He may have one.
A gorgeous watch. That's a great choice, and that's actually a great Miami watch too.
It is, but that hornback strap, you know, if you got to change that out, that's going to set you back like $700.
Yeah, that's easily like a discounted 7 Friday by itself.
There you go. Yeah.
So here's the thing. Now, to get in the Miami mindset, I do believe cars are part of the equation. This is not New York. We
I
don't
love
walk or
cars.
take a cab. We both love cars, which is why I think a 1986 white Testarossa might be
Okay.
just the thing.
Have you been watching my videos? Is that what you've
No,
been
I've been
doing?
reading your mind.
The Testarossa is the ultimate grail car. Not in white, but of course in red. But it sure, did you know I'm a big boy. I drove a Fiat 500 Abarth from New York to Miami in 18 hours.
He cannonballed it. Like, no kidding. You stopped like once, if that?
I stopped, no, I had to, it's only a 10-gallon tank.
Oh, right,
so
you
I
stopped-
stopped like 5 times.
I was joking that you spent more on gas than the hotel.
Oh, no, I definitely spent more on gas in the hotel.
So we've got some exciting features down the line this year. I'm looking for another watch to add to the JLC collection and start rounding it off. Federico's looking for a Miami watch. Both of us are looking for cars.
Yeah, I mean, I love the Abarth, but I need something a little bit more spacious now that I'm doing I-95 in Miami.
Yeah, the Abarth has that little scorpion logo, but he's looking for something with legitimate sting in its tail.
Hey,
Or
it's
a cruiser, or a cruiser.
160 horsepower in a little tiny car. It's not slow.
Well, maybe that one will die a hero. We'll turbo it out to 200 plus and add 250 shot nitrous.
A drag strip car.
So, of course, I have a graphic of my Miami watch, which is
I don't even know this. What is it?
Oh, my Miami watch is going to be my first ever colored gold timepiece, a rose gold reverso, grand tie case, nice and traditional size. It's also a minute repeater. So there's that. It's got that going for it.
You're so ridiculous.
I know. I got Ferraris and minute repeaters on the channels tonight.
You're so ridiculous.
By the way, send your comments and suggestions for his next watch to Federico at watchyouwant.com.
Yeah, guys, if you have any ideas, it's literally Federico at watchyouwant.com. I'm overwhelmed with choices, so I need you guys to help me narrow it down.
Yeah, we got to pare this down. We got to make it manageable. It's like trying to bite a basketball. You got to figure out where to start, or preferably just deflate it.
And I'm pretty sure the shipping and receiving guys want me out of their office.
Yeah, that too. He's been fondling the inventory. But it's been pre-loved.
Why not just a little more love?
I got a suggestion coming from Eddie Landsberg, Mustang convertible. You know, that's probably closer to my heart than yours.
I actually really like the Mustang convertible, but I'm not a huge fan of American Muscle.
Okay.
Not to say there's anything wrong with American Muscle, but I'm very European, low horsepower handling, like hot hatch kind of
Make
guy.
your power at 7,000 RPM, you know.
like keep it revved out like at all times. But that is going to change now that I'm down here.
Fair enough. Well, I'll admit that I love the Redneck GT3 RS, the Camaro Z28 previous generation, the Camaro 5th generation's Z28. Tires so soft you can dent them with your fingernail. Again, that is like the redneck equivalent of something like a Porsche Trek Special.
Well, if I was gonna go American, I don't know, Di Tommaso Pantera we talked about.
Okay, half and half. I can see that.
Or we could even go. I mean, listen, the new Corvette Z06 is the best bang per buck.
Our pricing manager Tom actually has one of those, so you can test drive it.
I mean, it'll literally pull the pants off. What do you think? It'll compete with the 458?
I mean, this is the thing. The 458 is now a generation removed. The Z06 is insane. I mean, the Z06 scares the crap out of me. I would say your best bet is something like a C7 Stingray Grand Sport. Then you get the dry sump engine, you get the lower axle ratio, you get the magnetorheological shocks, you get tons of punch, and you don't have to worry about the overheating with the Z06.
Well, before everybody starts complaining there's too much car talk, the number one front runner right now is the new Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio, the QV.
Okay, so
that's the front runner.
So you've got your Latin M5. That's the front runner.
The Latin M5.
That's what it is.
We're gonna have a discussion after this, by the way.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, guys. So a couple of questions that you guys are asking live. Now I know you've got a lot on your mind, and I know we've got our friend OJ Watley live in the chat box tonight.
Sorry for stealing your time slot, OJ.
Yeah, so we have a question coming from Noah R. Waiting a Tim, Federico, and TGV lifestyle segment. I think we could probably put that on the agenda.
Absolutely. I mean, TGV and I have shot a ton of videos together. TGV loves Miami. I think we'll get him on the show at some point.
Yeah, I think we're going to make that happen, and also because Federico has a lot of friends, and I'd love to have him in here. We're going to continue our collector conversations. He's going to host some, I'm going to host some.
Yeah.
And just in terms of how the show formats are going to work, you're still going to have my live shows and still going to have Federico talking watches. We're just going to do a lot of crossover stuff every once in a while. Him on my show and myself sitting in that co-pilot seat on his show.
There we go.
So guys, I really like the fact that everyone's engaged with this. I like the fact that everyone, trusts that Federico is still his own man, and I give you my unconditional promise that he's always going to speak his own opinions, even when they're to the detriment of my own interests. He has total editorial free reign, and this is your chance to engage with Federico in a way you never have through social media. Because, like I said, tell them what you're running outside of YouTube.
I mean, outside of YouTube, I'm doing the Instagram, the Facebook page, I'm doing the YouTube comments, a couple of secret projects we can't talk about right now.
That's true.
But more importantly than anything, YouTube is, or social media rather, is now my full-time gig. So I'm gonna have more time than ever to answer my emails and just chat with you guys on the comment section, below rather. So, I mean, it just works out really well. I mean, especially for me, but hopefully for you guys too, right?
And the great thing is we've got literally free reign to pursue video projects in the future. So we want your suggestions. The era of Tim and Federico in one house under one roof is really your era, because I always like to say that Monday Mailbag is your show, and I will throw out my talking points to answer your questions. Well, realistically, this is the first time that I've ever thought Watch You Want's content is going to start taking its cues from the viewers, because you guys know what you like, and honestly, that keeps us from guessing.
And nothing's too ridiculous. Remember that. We're in South Florida. Anything's possible.
That's true. I saw a car running like this much negative camber this morning. Literally anything's possible.
Let me guess, a Subaru?
It was actually like a 1999 Honda Civic Si.
Right, sir.
With a fart can. Okay.
There you go.
So guys, let's answer a question straight up. Is Fed going to be the new hand model? No.
Absolutely not.
Is Archie going to be on the channel?
I no plans for it at the moment.
Yeah, not on the agenda. So the bottom line is that we're going to have a lot of fun here, and this is the start of a new era. At first, I'm not sure if Federico is going to be on both Tuesdays and Thursdays, because he's got to kind of get a running start at developing the content.
Well, I need to find a place to live first.
Yeah, he's working on that. Abarth, that's his apartment right now.
I'm sleeping in the back seat.
Yeah, rear seats down, of course. But, definitely this guy's got to get everything up and running here. There is a learning curve to joining Watch You Want.
I mean, I won't be doing a show Thursday because I don't want to leave you guys hanging. But the plan in the future is every Tuesday and Thursday. It just might be slow for the coming weeks. But this Thursday, definitely, we will have a Federico Talks Watches segment.
Okay, guys, thank you so much. We don't want to run on too long. We've got an idea. I think there are enough germs of ideas in this show to give us a month worth of content.
Yeah, we've planted some seeds.
Okay, so now we need to cultivate that garden. So I guess the only way to sign off is to pass it over to the new holder of the torch.
Well, fellas, thank you so much for sticking around for another episode of Watch You Want.
Yeah, Watch You Want Live.
Not Federico Talks Watches, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Or as I like to say, I'm Tim, he's Federico, she's Pheline, this is Watch You Want, and thanks for logging on.
Take care.